Guys, this is Sean McGarry coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the music salon where great things happen. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Got a fun little lesson today, man. I thought we'd keep it light and kind of I'm not gonna say easy, but just kind of some basic major pentatonic stuff, right? And a nice little melody. So don't worry, be happy, right? Great little song, great hook and great melody. So I played that in the intro, and I have a backing track for that, and I broke down the melody and the theory behind it and some double stops in my Patreon page. So if you guys hop over, I got this new Patreon page. We're a couple weeks into it, and it really helps the channel out. It's $10 a month. It's got tabs, all kinds of extra stuff in there. So if you don't mind hitting that Patreon page, that would help me out. But either way, we're gonna get into as much stuff as we can today. So you saw the chords there were just G, or it was G, A minor, C, back to G, right? Nice little feel to it. So again, I'm not going to get that melody. I just want to play that as kind of a guiding point to get it started. That's all on my Patreon page if you want to check that out. So let's jump into like some of the things you can play over this though. So we could think G major, which we'll probably throw some in there, but I like to just think of the major pentatonic. So the major pentatonic is the major scale without the 4th and 7th notes, okay? So if I play this, and everybody knows the minor pentatonic at this point, I hope, but a lot of people kind of skirt around the major pentatonic, if you will. So if I have this, let's just kind of look at it like this. If I have G major right here, E string 3rd fret, just a regular. Okay, so all you do is you take out the 4th and 7th notes. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, he's out of here. So get rid of 4, go to 5, 6, and the 7th, he's out of there. So we go. Okay? And for whatever reason, when you take out these notes, the pentatonic, it gives a little more freedom to play it. It doesn't clash with certain chords. Okay, and that's the best way I think of it. It's just like there's certain chords that it can potentially clash with, not always, of course. And we can throw those notes back in. So that's the beauty of this stuff, is you kind of take it out for expression and put them back in if need be over chord tones or chord changes. So now let me show you that in 2 octaves, so I can go. So that's a 2 octave G major pentatonic, right? And it's all movable. So if you play it here, you can play it anywhere, right? So just movable, no open strings. Now if I played it open, watch this. You can almost think of it as the same as E minor pentatonic. Watch this. So that's really easy to play. Okay, so those are the 2 fundamental ways that we should learn it. And then this way that I play a lot, and most guitar players play a lot, is you kind of slide around up and down the fretboard. So check it out. That's 1 octave right there. And this is a great lick, that in a lot of like Motown, R&B, whatever, just a real universal riff. You hear in a lot of styles and genres, okay? So all the way up now, if I start on a G note. So look how much real estate we've covered. We literally started here and went all the way up here. So pretty much the whole fretboard with 3 octaves, one kind of riff, right? So if I go, and they're all connected to chord shapes. Okay, so watch this. Here's my G major bar chord. Okay, so I'm going to start there, connecting chord number 1. Okay, I could think of this as a chord shape 2. Look, there's my E shape. So I could think, okay, here's shape 1, here's shape 2. So watch this. The chords connect, or the scales connect the chords and the arpeggio. So it's what it's all about. Chord shapes, triads, arpeggio, scales, okay? Now let's take it on up. So now I want to connect this, 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 and this. All these chord shapes. Watch this. When I end on my G right here, well look, here's my D shape. So I've connected the 3rd chord shape. 1, 2, 3. Now let's keep going. There's another chord shape, right? Let's keep going. Okay, sorry. And then up to here. So all together, here's the full 3 octave scale. There's my A shape, full bar chord. So it's powerful stuff once you kind of get into the nuts and bolts of this. Now this is a really fun chord progression to just jam over and use some of these fundamentals. And we're not going to get too crazy today with like where to land and all that stuff. But I would say just step 1, start playing a scale. So watch this. Let me put this little loop on here. And I'm just going to play the scale. Nothing fancy, just real basic stuff. Watch this. Just kind of bop around and all at the neck. Again. So what I really try and do when I'm doing that stuff, and again, it's real basic, but it sounds good. You know what I mean? You're just playing a scale, and you're just kind of landing on these chord tones. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Now I could get a little deeper, like okay, when it goes to the A minor, I could land on, the 3rd of A minor or the root note. That's probably the next step we'll talk about. But I just really am not even thinking about that. I want to try and use my ear and just play these little melody ideas up and down the neck. So I'm going to do that one more time. Again, nothing fancy, just show you how to practice this stuff. This is what we're doing. You're just trying to practice this stuff. And again, I have a nice little backing track, a couple backing tracks, I think at least one on my Patreon page of this, or just loop it, G, A minor, C, however you want to practice it, you know what I mean? And here we go. I'm going to do it one more time, and I'm just going to work my way up the scale, just playing over these chord changes, nothing fancy, making some pit stops along the way, and trying to do phrasing. And remember, it's always that call and answer, that kind of response thing, so check it out. Here's the question. Answer. Question. Answer. Again. Now I'm just going to play the scale. Check it out. Nothing fancy. All right, so just start with that. Now, there's one point of interest I want to show you here. Another reason this is so prevalent and played is not just the sound, I think, played like this. It's just the fingering. So it's all these two. Look, there's the devil horn, right? So there it is, the Ozzy, the Dio sign. So now if I do this, it's literally the first and third finger all the way up. Now sometimes, here's the thing though, when you get to that B string, here's where everybody gets tripped up. It's like they fall going up the stairs. Watch this. Now I could do, sometimes I will do this if I'm going to stop there because there's a G note. So in all fairness, I will stop there with that middle finger sometimes. So it's not incorrect, but if I want to keep going, I'm going to do this. When I get here, look at that. Just jump up one fret. Not that, this. Now as soon as you jump up that one fret on the B string, then you're back in business with your first and third finger. And I might change my fingerings up a little bit depending on what you're playing. That's all right. But if you're just practicing the scale, just remember those couple basic rules. Now, if I'm doing this, check it out. I'm going to resolve. This time I will use my middle finger and show you. I'm going to resolve on that D-shaped G right here. So check it out. So now, you know, when I do that, if I do that lick, there's that triad. There's my little thirds I was playing that earlier, like a... Those where all those little double stops come from. That's pure gold right there when you get to play that stuff, right? Or sorry. So like some of those double stops, all come from the major pentatonic. So, you know, I'll probably do like a Hendrix lesson sometime. You really get into like all those little... all that stuff in my mind comes off chord shapes and a lot of that major pentatonic stuff, right? So I'll just give you a couple examples real quick. In that melody we were doing, let's see what we're doing. So if you take the notes of that, right? Look at that. Right off that chord shape. So the first little harmony or double stop, however you want to think of it, is off that D shape. Then the other little double stop was off this chord shape. And then the other one was this. When I did that little melody. Well, look at that. If that's the lick, there's, you know, that A note with my middle finger. The harmony is right in front of it, that third. And I talk about that a lot. Those thirds are typically, you know, right in front of your middle finger there, you know. Look at that. If I do all G's, it's right there. But like right here, I'm just harmonizing the A note, but it's still the same fingering, if that makes sense. And you just slide that up. Here's another cool little thing. I just grab that G chord. And play that little lick. And by the way, to me, that's the David Gilmour riff. Right? But of course, you can play in any style. You hear it all the time, you know, blues. So think of it however you want, but it's just that most guitar players learn when they're learning to play guitar, that riff. So that David Gilmour riff, if you will, here's the harmony to it. So without the harmony, it's with the harmony, add the harmony note up top. Back to that major pentatonic. So, you know, it's a really fun way to solo is with that major pentatonic. And I'm not even going to talk about it, even though I'm going to bring it up real quick. But like you could play the E minor pentatonic over that because that's the relative minor. But let's just think about playing the major pentatonic over this. Let's keep it real simple today. And really try and master this. That, you know, major pentatonic scale up and down the neck. So again, hop on over to my Patreon. I've got a backing track. I've got more about the melody and some other stuff in there. And it's a fun little song. So, you know, great song to start off the week with. It's a Monday here in Cincinnati. So thank you guys for watching so much. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, helps me out. And we'll definitely see you next time.